Hello friends! I had a pair of ivory shoes that I got at a thrift store and a pair of gloves that weren't the color that I wanted them to be when they arrived. And so I have decided to paint them with leather paint. So come along and let me show you how that works, and even give you, and at the end I'll give you some tips and tricks, things to look for if you're looking for shoes to paint. Okay, if you're looking for women's dress shoes to paint. I mean, a lot of people are using leather paint to paint sneakers. Not quite my thing, but dress shoes? Heck yes. Okay, so stick around, let me show you how this works. Such a good girl. Okay, so what we're going to try to do first is we're going to match color, or make a pretty color. Try not to match it too perfectly, but we'll make a pretty color. I have a jar of Angelus flat white acrylic leather paint. Okay, I don't know if it'll take the whole thing or if I'll need more, but we're just going to start there. I also have neon Parisian pink and neon paradise purple, and I may look over there and see if I've got anything else, like if I have a red or something else. Let me look. Okay, so I have red and I have magenta. So this is certainly plenty to get me the pink that I want. Okay. I'm also going to put this weird jacket here in front of me. Even with the weird color variations that it has, it will be a good reminder of the color that I'm going for. And I can also just step outside and compare colors that way. So this is what I consider a lot of fun, but I realize not everybody finds this fun. So, oh, these little guys have brushes in the cap. All right, I got a cloth. So we are first of all going to add some pink. Just straight up neon pink, and this is probably going to do wonders at getting it pink. Now while I'm here, I think I'm going to add 1 drop of magenta. And let's just play with that. Maybe a drop of red while I'm here. Oh, this is probably not that great of a color. Okay, let's see what happens when we give this a good stir. Ooh, pink. Well, that's pretty much it, really. That's pretty much the color I need. I want it to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more color in there, so we're going to add more pink. Good. This is having the added benefit of giving me more paint to work with, because it may take a couple of coats to get what I'm looking for. Alright, so in we go, and give it a good shake. Ta-da! We have a beautiful, beautiful pink. So, there we are. There we have it. Okay, let's set that aside. And I'm just going to start on the inside of the shoe and carefully paint. Now on a shoe project like this, it will probably take quite a few coats. The closer your project is to the color, the closer your starting color is to the color you want to finish with, the better it will go. The less... Okay, now that I can see the color that the shoes turned out, and the hat, and the gloves, I think this needs just the tiniest little bit of orange in it. It needs... everybody needs another coat. Whoopsie! Well, that's not what I wanted. See, this is why you work with cloth on your... on the surface. Okay, let's clean this off. Get a little bit of this in here. These guys both cleaned up. Let's get rid of this cloth real quick so we don't ruin the table any more than it already is. It's just a good reminder to always work with paper on your surface. Okay? No problem. No worries. Okay? So, let's give this a good shake. And let's see how the color looks now. You know what? That's pretty good. Funny how sometimes just a little bit of the color that you would not think at all is exactly what the project needs. Okay, so let me find some more paper. Good news, I have more of this stuff. We'll probably always have more of this stuff. So let's do a little color correcting on the shoes and then give the... So you want to see how they turned out? Ta-da! Here they are. Now I think the trickiest part of this process was matching the color, and so that's why it ended up with a lot of coats. Also, the glue, the chewing gum on the bottom, that came from the thrift store. They sent them from thredUP that way. So I left it. I haven't even bothered to it. This plastic is not going to paint. Don't even, it's not worth it trying on something like that. You can come in with this little pattern and kind of dry brush some color down in there to really accentuate it. I haven't gone that route yet, but I think I might because I really like that it has that little bit of a vintage, I think it's called broguing, I'm not sure, but I really like that look. So I'm pleased with how they came out. They're pretty much dead on the color that I wanted. So that is a real win. And I will get some pictures and show you how they look on. Now, a couple of other things that I have learned using leather paint that I want to share with you. I picked up these little shoes at a thrift store. I was distracted and not really paying a lot of attention. I wore them all of 6 feet before I brought them home. And it turns out they're the wrong size and they don't genuinely fit me. They're more like Instagram shoes. You know, you put them on for the picture and then take them off and put them back in the closet. So, cute, 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 cute. But this was probably a fail in terms of buying shoes, not taking the time in the thrift store to make sure they really fit, okay, in a way that I was happy with. Secondly, they were suede. They still are suede. And so I want to show you how suede and leather paint look together. Okay, so there is some interesting texture happening. It doesn't come out like that kind of smooth matte finish that suede is so beautiful for. It doesn't come out looking like that. Sometimes if you're covering a lot of territory, you can really see brush strokes. I tried to do a leather coat that was suede. We'll never do that again. Also with suede, the original color may interact with the paint and give you an unexpected result. This is not what I was looking for on this color. This color turned out great, but this color not so much. So let me show you what I was actually looking for. Is a little bit lighter and a little bit less red. It's a little bit more pink. The color name is magenta, and on other things it turns out looking a little bit more fuchsia or hot pink than this. This looks pretty bricky red. So just be aware that if you are using leather paint on suede, the color may not come out like it looks like it should from the bottle. It may interact with the earlier color of the suede. So keep that in mind. Still a super cute shoe, just off by a hair. And if you are looking for shoes to paint and come across a really cute pair that is suede, just think about it a little bit and decide if this is the result that you would be happy with. And if not, keep looking. For me, I'm not going to get any more suede shoes, but I do have another pair of suede shoes that I will paint because they're red and I don't wear red. So I'm going to have to do it. I'll do it again anyway. So anyway, okay? You can decide if that's a cautionary tale or you kind of like that texture, okay? This pair, now I've had these for quite a while, and the black went on probably one coat. I did multiple coats on the white and never really felt like it covered that well. And it's time, it's time to do another coat on the white. So, and if you look really closely in some of these lines, the original leather color is showing. So the leather paint becomes a way to bring a pair that has been well used and loved back to a fresh new look again. So it, I think, lengthens the life of a pair of shoes like this, because they're scuffed up, they're they're looking a little rough, but they are absolutely, to me, worth it to go back in and give them another coat, because, I mean, come on, these are cute. These are really cute. I have another pair to show you because I think this is also really interesting. If you have a pair of shoes where the stitching is a prominent part of the design, decide if it would bother you if the stitching disappeared, okay? Another thing to notice is that this one is like a faux crocodile or something like that, and there's this interesting texture in there. That texture does show. So don't be scared of faux crocodile and that kind of thing, because the texture is still pretty cool. And then it's up to you to decide whether you're okay with the fact that the stitching goes away. It is no longer a part of the design if you paint it. Now, I imagine that you probably could paint the shoes and not paint the stitching. That's more patience than I have or will summon. So these did not look good with my chocolate brown pants. These with the fresh coat will look great. So yeah, just keep in mind things like if you've got details that you really love, some of them are going to go away and some of them won't. I love it that the texture still shows that is still part of the design. So I really do, I'm happy with how this is turning out. Obviously I need to paint the second one. Now, I don't want you to ever underestimate the ability of really doing a dramatic change in a pair of shoes. If you buy a shoe that is, for example, completely orange, and it comes in 4 sections, well, guess what? Here's your opportunity. I bought these. When I bought these, they were orange. Now, I'll show you a video about this later because it's kind of a whole process. But when I bought these shoes, they were orange, and they are no longer orange. They are not orange in there. Oh yeah, well, way, way, way up in there they are orange. But this is a really great way to have one pair of shoes match multiple outfits really, really well. And since I wear a lot of things that have all of these cool tones together at the same outfit and the same cloth even, a shoe like this is a good way to match a floral pattern or any kind of pattern. And like in this case, I wanted a shoe that would match kind of the cyan blue and this turquoise, and would be one that I could wear for anything on the kind of turquoise to blue range. So I think the way I painted these, they will go with a lot of my clothes because I do wear this. I love this color combination. So and something like this, just keep in mind that if you paint it and you're not quite happy with it, paint a stripe a different color and just mix it up and just keep going until you get the look that you want. I'm not entirely sure that I'm finished with these. I think I may make some small adjustments, but I think I'm in a pretty good place. This is a place that I'll probably stop and wear them a little bit at this point. Also, a lesson that I learned from this shoe is that they may feel a little bit like they shrank a little bit from the moisture. I don't know. So if you want to stick tissue paper or something in there so that they don't dry kind of closed, then it'll be easier to get your foot in later when they are dry. Oh, by the way, this is the original color. That orange right there. I didn't have any problem with the orange per se. It's just that I don't own orange clothes, so I love orange. It's just not something that looks good on me. So yeah, I have a little touch up to do right there, but just look at shoes that are made in portions as an opportunity to do some color blocking, because whether it's black or white or some actual color options, you can really make an interesting shoe with just a couple of choices of colors, okay? Also, an example here, this right here, this piece, is not leather, it is fabric, it is a piece of elastic. So in that case, you will want some fabric paint as well. So when you are looking at shoes, just look and see if you're going to need to buy leather paint and fabric paint, or if you just need leather paint. So that's just one other thing to look for, because you do want things like this to blend in. I mean, of course you could do something like take a Sharpie marker to it, but details, you know, details. Okay, so that is kind of a fast forward look at some things to look for if you are going to paint some shoes, and why not? Why not? I find that it's just not that common that I find a pair of shoes that is a great style that I really love, that is also a great color that I really love. So being able to throw a little bit of Angelus paint on something and get a completely different pair of shoes and a completely different feel, and something so very custom, that makes me really, really happy. So thank you, Angelus Leather paint, and thank you, God, for creativity, because that's what makes this so much fun. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Well, friends, this video has been a part of Pink Week here on the channel. One video every day, each one featuring something pink that is either upcycled or made from scratch entirely by me. So there are hats, shoes, a blazer that I upcycled, a skirt that I upcycled with some cloth that I wove, and a handbag, and even some earrings. So check out the pink playlist so that you don't miss a single thing. It's amazing how with just a few simple tools and a few little things here and there that you can really make a big difference in how something looks and make it an expression of who you are in the world. And I think that's really cool. I have had enough of conformity, and I am ready to let my individuality shine. I was made in the image of God. There's something about God and something divine that's a part of me, and I want to celebrate that rather than hide it. And so I am working on it. I am growing. I am learning to be comfortable in my skin, and I am not above dressing up to go to the grocery store wearing things that I've thrifted and upcycled and created from scratch and all of that. I am learning how to be more authentically me, and I invite you to that journey. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.